Today, we're going to dive into a piece of technology that's tackling a really critical and often overlooked problem in healthcare. So, why is this so important? Why are we talking about a bed? Well, to really get it, we first have to understand the problem it's built to solve, a kind of hidden danger that millions of people face every single night. You know, for anyone out there with an elderly family member, or maybe someone with dementia or a physical disability, this question probably hits pretty close to home. You might think of a lot of things, but one of the most common and genuinely dangerous risks is something called wandering.
So what is wandering? It's basically when someone tries to get out of bed in an unsafe way, usually in the middle of the night. This is a common and honestly terrifying reality for folks with cognitive issues like Alzheimer's. And the stakes? They couldn't be higher. These attempts can lead to absolutely devastating falls, which are actually the leading cause of fatal injury for older adults. It just creates this constant state of worry for families and caregivers.
And that constant worry, well, it puts this incredible pressure on the people providing care. And that leads us to what you could call the caregiver's dilemma.
And this chart really breaks down why our current options just aren't cutting it. On one hand, sure, you have human supervision. But let's be real, nobody can watch someone 24/7 without facing just immense stress and burnout. It's impossible. On the other hand, a lot of the existing tech, it's expensive, it's complicated, and often it needs an internet connection. And that's not always reliable, plus it brings up some pretty serious privacy concerns. You see the gap, right? There's a huge need for something better.
So, how do you solve this? Well, you build a better solution from the ground up. You build a bed that's always vigilant, always ready to help. You build the bed that watches. And this whole system is built on three really simple but honestly game-changing pillars. First, it's offline. No internet means it's more reliable, more secure, and your privacy is protected. Second, it's multilingual, so the voice alerts and instructions can be understood by anyone in their native language. And third, it's automated. It doesn't just tell you there's a problem, it actively does something about it, instantly.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But how does a bed actually do all of this? Let's pop the hood and take a look at how it all works.
You know, the easiest way to wrap your head around this system is to think of it just like a human body. It's a really great analogy that breaks down the tech into three core functions. It can sense its environment, it can process that information, and then it can physically act on it. And this table here breaks it down perfectly. The senses, those are pressure and motion sensors that are constantly detecting movement. The brain is a tiny but powerful computer chip, an ESP32 microcontroller that analyzes all that data. The muscles are the motors that can adjust the bed and, crucially, raise the safety rails. And finally, get this, it has a voice, a completely offline module that gives alerts and can even take commands.
So, let's put it all together. Let's walk through a scenario. Imagine someone starts to get out of bed in a way that seems unsafe. Step 1, sensing. The sensors pick it up immediately. Step 2, processing. The brain analyzes the movement and decides, yep, this is a risk. Step 3, alerting. A local alarm and a clear voice alert go off right there in the room. And finally, step 4, protecting. The safety rails automatically rise to physically prevent a fall. It's a complete, self-contained safety loop.
So we've seen the tech, the nuts and bolts, but let's bring it back to what really truly matters here, the human impact. Because this isn't just about sensors and motors. It's about delivering safety, dignity, and peace of mind. And when you look at it that way, the benefits just become so obvious. First and foremost, you've got enhanced safety. It can prevent falls before they even happen. Second, it promotes independence and comfort. Users can adjust the bed themselves using just their voice, which gives them a real sense of control. And third, it dramatically reduces the burden on caregivers, giving them the peace of mind that their loved one is protected even when they can't be in the room. And you know, the list of who benefits from this is just huge. Of course, the primary beneficiaries are the users themselves, the elderly, patients with dementia, people with disabilities, or even someone just recovering from surgery. But the secondary beneficiaries are just as important. The caregivers, both family and professional, and the hospitals and nursing homes who can now offer a higher standard of care, way more efficiently. There's this quote from the project's own documentation that I think just nails it. The ultimate goal here isn't just to build some clever device. It's about fundamentally improving both quality of care and overall quality of life. And really, that's the true measure of success for any technology like this.
Now, this is an incredible start, but it's really just the beginning. So where does this kind of technology go from here? Let's take a quick peek at the future of assistive care.
Well, the roadmap is pretty exciting. The team is looking to bring in AI to actually predict risky movements, not just react to them. They're exploring optional dashboards so hospitals can monitor multiple beds at once, adding battery backups for even more reliability. Of course, the next huge steps are all about real-world testing and partnering with healthcare providers to get this technology to the people who need it most.
And that really brings us to our final thought. This assistive bed is more than just one cool invention. It's a glimpse into a future where technology can help us care for one another in a more reliable, dignified, and compassionate way, all without giving up our privacy. And it leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. How will smart, offline technology change the way we care for each other?